Thanks for your support as a channel member, Jermat7046. It's the one that they all want to win. The Monaco Grand Prix is this weekend. It's normally very, very boring. But this year, everyone has to make 2 pit stops, and that might just make all the difference. Hello folks and welcome to my predictions for the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix. Yes, they have to make 2 pit stops this year. Hopefully we're not in for a complete bore fest like we got in 2024 where we got a red flag on lap 1, everyone got a free change of tyres and then just ran them to the end. Well, some people boxed but they still couldn't overtake, so that's Monaco for you. It's no heroics into Sandivart, stick it on pole and win from there. But the 2 pit stops might throw a few more curveballs at this race. Bernie Collins on Sky Sports said when they announced this change, just pit lap 1 and lap 2 if you're at the back and then run to the end as you would normally and hope for a safety car because you could be quids in then. And I genuinely think we might see someone do that. Maybe Sauber will do it, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be very interesting. I think McLaren are going to be the team to beat. Let's get some predictions on board. We're going to go to your predictions as well. So let's start with the all-important pole position. And I have gone for one Oscar Piastri, the championship leader. He has been excellent in qualifying this season, actually outperforming Lando Norris, who I think we can all agree, most people felt he had an edge over Oscar in qualifying before this season, but this car in the hands of Oscar Piastri, it's just working. So Oscar is the man in the Papaya team and they're going to have a slightly changed livery this weekend, so that's always fun, isn't it? McLaren like to bring a special livery to Monaco and I think that special livery is going to be lining up at the front. I would be surprised if it's not a McLaren front row lockout because their low speed performance, acceleration zones is just better than everybody. They're able to keep the rear tyres under control temperature wise and they're just going to be streets ahead of everybody else. Let's move on to my podium and I'm going to do all 3 at once here. Oscar Piastri is going to win the race because he's going to start from pole position. Lando Norris is going to finish second because he's going to start second. And Alex Albon is going to finish third for Williams because why not? Why not? Alex Albon on the podium in a Williams. If something silly happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen to Albon, now that I've predicted him to get a podium, hopefully he can capitalise because he has been nothing short of sensational in the last few races. Well, all season really. He's been absolutely excellent. Was it 4th in Melbourne? 5th in Miami? 5th last time out at Imola? Possibly should have been 3rd because he should have been able to get past Charles Leclerc. Then he might have caught Oscar Piastri, who was on older tyres. So, who knows? That podium could have already arrived for Williams. But my prediction is that it's going to happen in Monaco. And we're better. We're better than a Monaco podium. Because once he gets into 3rd place through hook or by crook, no one's going to pass him, let's be honest. Because you can't. It's Monaco. So, yeah, that is my podium. And call me delusional, but I'm sticking to it. Now we're doing things differently with our bold predictions. I don't want just a bold prediction. We're being very specific. So I asked you which of the 3 teams out of Haas, Aston Martin and Racing Bulls would score the most points. It's a tricky one. I think Racing Bulls have a very good car. I have no idea how it's going to go around Monaco. Aston Martin looked better at Imola in qualifying at least. Then they just destroyed their tyres in the Grand Prix. Haas had a difficult qualifying, but Behrman had a really solid race. His pace was very good. He was unlucky to be eliminated in Q1. It's very difficult to say which of these teams is going to score the most points, but if I have to hang my hat on any of them, I'm going to go with Aston Martin because that wily old fox Fernando Alonso is rather good around Monaco. He showed that in 2023 when he had a car that could compete at the front. And he probably should have been on pole position, barring a lap of excellence from Max Verstappen. I just think Alonso's going to make the difference. I'm not sure. I mean, Ocon's gone well around Monaco as well. So if Haas have got a decent machine, maybe he can do it. I'm not sure Hajar and Lawson are going to pull up any trees. Hajar might outperform Lawson though. we're probably not expecting a huge amount from Lance Stroll, although he hasn't been terrible this season. He's been relatively close to Alonso, but I'm going for Aston Martin. That's going to move Alonso off of the bagel towards the bottom of the standings, which I have been making jokes about, but it's probably about time that Fernando Alonso lost the O and got some points on the board. Okay, time for some of your predictions. Let's get stuck straight in with Ben, who has gone for Max Verstappen on pole position, then Verstappen, Piastri, Norris as the podium, and if Aston Martin can get the upgrades to work again and perfect the strategy, they will score the most points after themselves, VCarb and Haas. Solid predictions there. Ben, Crazy Plays, has gone with Oscar Piastri to take pole and win the race ahead of Max Verstappen and George Russell. Very interesting predictions there. Who else have we got? Elite Silver has gone with Piastri for pole ahead of Lando Norris and George Russell. So that's two people saying George Russell will be on the podium. Aston Martin's upgrades perform like they did in Imola. From how important qualifying is, I see them outscoring Haas and VCarb. Extra bold prediction, Max and Lewis crash together. Well, that's very sad, isn't it, Elite? That's ruined my day. That's ruined everything. Justin has gone with Lando on pole and to win the race ahead of Piastri and Russell. Many of you thinking George Russell's going to have a good weekend. Could be fun. F1 McLaren 481 says Max Verstappen on pole. I thought you were a McLaren stan. How are you putting Max Verstappen on pole? Genuinely, I think Red Bull are going to have a difficult weekend. I know they pulled a rabbit out of the hat on Saturday and Sunday in Imola. I don't see it happening this weekend. That car will not like the bumpy street circuits this season. Podium, Lando, Max, Oscar. Interesting that the pole sitter doesn't win the race. Racing Bulls 1 point, Haas and Aston Martin 0 points. Interesting. Louis has gone with Lando on pole, but then to be beaten by Max Verstappen in the race and Esteban Ocon on the podium. I mean, look, you say it's delusional. Anything can happen in Monaco. A random safety car, a red flag, many cars eliminated. It can happen. And Louis did say that Racing Bulls would score the most points. And finally, we've got Crispy Bacon here, who has gone for Oscar Piastri on pole to win ahead of the two Mercedes drivers, with Norris and Verstappen crashing out. Very, very interesting. Racing Bulls get 7th and 10th to score the most points out of those three teams. Interesting predictions. Liking those. Thank you very much, everybody. Now, before we go, there's one more prediction I want to make. So as I said about the Esteban Ocon podium prediction, anything can happen in Monaco, and we did see anything happen this week. This is the part of the show where we go to the Spurs won a trophy, so anything is possible prediction, because Tottenham Hotspur won the Europa League, beating Manchester United in Bilbao earlier this week. So this is a prediction where you can just throw anything out there as wild and crazy as you want it to be, and we have to roll with it. So mine is that Lewis Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix for Ferrari. So yeah, you heard it here first. Lewis is going to take his first Grand Prix Ferrari victory on the streets of Monaco. Let me know what your Spurs won a trophy, so anything is possible prediction is in the comments. That's all for today. Enjoy the Monaco Grand Prix weekend. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.